come and catch the vibe. Welcome to Easy Weekend.
It's Easy Weekends.
Cats can't see me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Sitdown. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. Also, while you're on the YouTubes, make sure you go check out the family channel, Meet the Mazels for the kiddies. I got a lot of them. They're doing a lot of funny stuff. Go check it out when you're bored. But you're here, so sit down. And today, I've got Lamount and Ray in the building. These two have, I don't want to say a history, but they're kind of celebrities in my world. And in my mind, I like these guys. Ray, you want to talk about your past?
Yeah, my resume.
Your resume, yeah. That's the one I was looking for.
Exactly.
Yes.
I guess just to kick it off a little bit. So I was the #1 Madden player in the world for quite some time. Did that for a little bit.
Is there an award for that?
There is. You get a plaque from GameStop. No. But it's good though. Yeah, you basically, for me, I was able to travel the country, then ultimately just travel the world, just playing video games for a living, and then had sponsors and so on and so forth. Very fortunate that we had a documentary come out about us on Amazon. So it's been a crazy run. I'll let Lamont tell you about himself, obviously being a very, very large YouTuber, but yeah, all coming from gaming and literally first going to GameStop tournaments like I was joking, and then all of a sudden having it emerge into everything else. It's just been like a dream come true.
I'm listening to everything I've ever wanted to do in life.
Yeah.
Shit. So Lamont, go ahead, talk to me. Let me hear your resume.
Well, exactly. So I have in terms of my background, there is on a similar fashion. I was also a pro player for the games of Madden and also NBA 2K as well. But also have a background as being a YouTuber. So I did YouTube for a number of years, playing the games of Madden and also NBA 2K. The name of my YouTube channel is actually called Clutch, where I make content for Madden, of course, NBA 2K
I think
basketball.
I follow you on YouTube.
Did?
That's crazy.
I gave you some tips. So yeah, I was very fortunate. Did that for a few years. My channel blew up. Within the few years' time, got over 500,000 subscribers and also accrued over 150 million views. I did that for a bit. I also practiced law for a hedge fund on Wall Street for a few years too. But now in terms of, I linked up with my boy Ray, and we're doing things right here with making the first ever 7v7 and 11v11 online multiplayer football game for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. The game is called Elite Sports Gaming Football 24.
Why did you feel there's a space for this game now?
Yes, absolutely. Well, one, it's a long story, but in terms of the gamers that are, actually hearing us speak now, they know in terms of the game of NBA 2K with the My Player mode, in short fashion, what we are doing is we're making the football version of that game. So in terms of things with 2Ks in My Player mode, how you make your own character and you decide how you want to play the game of basketball, we're doing that for football as well too. So you make your own character, you choose. If you make a quarterback, does he play like Mike Vick or he plays like Tom Brady? If you make a wide receiver, does he play like Randy Moss or does he play like a Marvin Harrison? And also with whatever guy you actually make, you got to play on both sides of the ball as well too. So if you make a Tom Brady, yeah, he's great on like offense, but what's he going to do on defense? He got no speed, he got no man coverage, he got no hit power, he got no block shed.
Is this like NBA Jam or Blitz?
So it's a little bit of both. So basically the way it works is that because in our world, it's inspired by New York City, right? So you're literally playing in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan. And then and then what happens is you're playing like either in the street, where it's a little bit more NFL street type of style, like we knew from back in the day. But then there's also like the rec centers where you're literally playing full-on 11v11, and it's traditional football. So you get both styles essentially. You get the fun version, but you also get the super serious version. So for us, we're very fortunate to have pro athletes who are investors in the company who get in the motion capture. So when you look at like EA Sports, a lot of guys who play in the league, they don't want to risk tearing an ACL or hurting themselves getting into motion capture for a company that they don't have ownership in. But for us, we got literally future Hall of Famers. We got guys playing in the league right now, so on and so forth, who literally get into the motion capture and then obviously lay hits. I've been hit by Sean Merriman so many times.
And I filmed it.
It's not fun, but it also is, a dream come true at the same exact time. So it's pretty crazy.
I've never envied anybody this. I swear to God, like I'm not an envious person. Like I don't look at people like, damn, I wish I was him. Okay, so now all right, so now we've got everyone's playing one of the characters. Nobody's gonna create offensive linemen.
Like that's a great question. So there's a few things about that. First and foremost, like I remember when LaShawn McCoy invested, Shady McCoy, shout out to him. He came on board. That was the first question he asked. He said, all right, nobody's gonna play as the line. Like you gotta be kidding me. And the first thing is that if I can't convince you of anything otherwise, always remember that there's AI, right? So the AI can also come in and play, and you always have that, right? And it could just be us right now taking up all the other positions. Right?
Got you.
But the other thing is that when you play a game like Madden, the way it's traditionally set is that first off, you really only play as 1 versus 1 in Madden, right? So it's like chess. I'm controlling the whole team, you control the whole team. So nobody wants to play as a lineman. But the other thing is that when you play as a lineman, it's just mashing the X button. In our game, it's more like a fighting game where you're not going to kick someone in the face or clothesline them, but the buttons are more like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, that the configurations are the reason why you win on that rip move or that swim move. It's a fight. So essentially, it's very detailed in terms of why you win or lose. So it's more competitive. So again, for some people, it's getting when you fit and get, you know what I'm saying? Like in real life sports, not everyone can play the quarterback position or the point guard position, because if you play 2K, you already know if you go out there and you play point guard, people are going to tell you you're trash real quick if you can't facilitate the ball the right way. All of a sudden, you're like, you know what? Let me just be in the corner. Just hit me when I'm open.
This is why I don't play online.
Exactly.
It's terrible. And there be 12-year-old kids telling me I'm trash.
You got a kid's voice that hasn't even gone through puberty telling you. Exactly. So that's where, again, all the positions come into play for us. But again, if someone doesn't want to play those positions, then always the AI could take over that just in case.
Okay. Random question. Yeah. Have you guys played the version that we haven't seen yet
of our game?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. So I mean, the thing about it is, so we founded the company 3 years ago, right? We spent a year raising capital, and then throughout that time, of course, everyone told us it couldn't be done. You can't make a company that's going to compete with EA Sports and with 2K.
That's another question I got here.
Yeah, exactly.
What does EA say about this? Because you guys were with them, and all of a sudden now you guys want to be competitors.
So here's the thing. Let's just keep it a buck real quick. So we did this professionally for nearly 20 years, right, as pro gamers. But in 2018, I was actually involved in a mass shooting that happened in a Madden tournament in Jacksonville.
Yes, exactly. I was getting there. Listen, I got you.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, 2 of my friends unfortunately passed away. 10 of my friends, thank you. 10 of my friends were shot. And again, everyone else was obviously very affected by it. And the problem was, just to keep it real, when everyone goes through a situation like that, and then you got to remember, we're the biggest customers in their world, because we're not only buying the game, we're traveling the whole world playing the game, right? And in a situation like that, like, I'm the only person who literally did not sign on the dotted line to take a settlement, because their settlement was $9,000 to every single victim. So
that's it?
$9,000 to every victim. Now, the thing is, you already know, if you've ever been involved in a lawsuit, when you sign on that dotted line, it's confidentiality agreements. You can't say a word about it. So for me, it's like $9,000 over not telling people what's right and what's wrong is not worth it. You know what I mean? So with that,
standing on business.
Yeah, exactly. So with that, like, with everything that we were doing, it really came down to a certain fuel that we had, because the gaming community hasn't had a competitor in the sports space for quite some time when it comes to football games. Obviously, 15 years, there hasn't been a different football game.
That 2K game was fly, though.
Back in the day.
Yes,
2K,
it was.
Yeah, 2K5, of course.
Dreamcast was fucking fly, too.
Randy Moss in the cover and all that. Yeah. Everyone knows about that, but we haven't had something since. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, that's where a lot of the fire came in, with obviously what happened, with the shooting, and then obviously with the community not really getting what they want for quite some time. And that just led us, to go down that path. Fortunately for us, while all those publishers said that we were crazy, while all the VCs said that we were crazy, you got, our company's black and brown. And at the end of the day, all the players, they believed in what it is that we were doing. So they came on board, they invested, they got us off the ground. Then after that, that's when those publishers came back to us and tried to offer us a deal. But we were like, nah, we good now.
Good.
Yeah, we straight. So that was that.
Lamont.
Absolutely, yep.
Come on, man. Talk to me about the smart part of this thing. How does this thing work?
Well, we both the smart part. We both the smart part. So in terms of my background is law, so I'm not going to get into the technicalities.
That's what I
in
should
terms
have
of
said.
the game, in terms of all the code
stuff.
stuff like that. But what you want to actually know in terms of the smart part? Because I already told you, the smart part is in terms of the fact that we make this game an immersive experience. So the way it actually works is, as soon as you turn on the game and it loads up and you make your own guy, that's when you're loaded into this world, this open world environment, which we call the Heights. And when you're loaded into this world, which you call the Heights, that's when you're able to interact with everybody else that is in the game. So if you want to play football, then you run to our football field and play some football. If you want to work out, then you run to our gym and actually work out there. And then with that, there's so many things that you can do in the game, such as emote, dance, choose what your character looks like, make more friends, play football, of course. There's so many immersive things within this whole environment.
But I gotta hit one thing on top of that, if I may. One thing about it is that when a lot of people look at what it is that we're doing, it's fair that at first glance they think that our competitor is EA Sports, that we're making a football game, which obviously to certain extents is very true. But the fact of the matter is that our game is actually a tech company disguised as a sports video game franchise. So beyond year one, we make multiple sports games, right? Baseball, basketball, soccer, all the sports games. In our case, we tie it all into one, right? But then beyond that, the major thing that you got to remember here is that let's just say you're a content creator, right? Let's just say like someone like Lamount, a YouTuber, and he plays video games every single day. Well, the video game that he plays is going to determine how much money he makes, right? Because if he plays a game like COD, even though that's the most preeminent shooting game for the past, 2 decades, it's a first-person shooter. So all you see is the hands and the gun. So if you make a video every single day, twice a day, that's 600 videos in a year, all you're seeing in 600 videos is hands and gun, and all your content starts to look the same.
Yeah.
So when you're a content creator, we're all content creators, and when you do this for a living, you need to have diversified things that you're putting out there, hyper customized, because that's going to help your virality, that's going to help your monetization. So our game, similar to like a game like Fortnite, you have different skins, emotes, environments, collaborations. We bring in real celebrities and artists and so on and so forth. We bring in real musicians to bring their music into our game. All these things for someone like Lamount means that every single day his videos are vastly different than yesterday. The fact that he's playing 11v11 as opposed to 1v1 means that the content is now everyone talking smack on the mic and all that. Everything's really built for the content creator or people just in general to bring their likeness into our world and then get paid way more on the back end. Instead of cutting in the NFL for $250 million the way Madden does, we go straight to the content creators. And then again, we don't care if someone like Cheekley or someone else has a 4.240. They're just coming into the game as fun, but kids are, obviously showing love, buying their characters, and then making funny videos with them. And that's essentially where the ecosystem starts to then get created.
Okay, so we were talking about the NFL 2K. Mm-hmm. The reason I believe that game fell off is because of licensing and not being able to say that they are the Cowboys of Dallas and all that.
Right.
Are you guys running into the same issues?
Yeah, so that's the thing. With NFL 2K5, the thing is that they got so big, they flew too close to the sun, and what EA Sports did was they said, look, they got bread, right? So they bought
the fucking license.
They bought the license exclusively so that nobody else in the world could ever make an NFL game that was simulation football for console, right? The problem was back then, you got to remember, not only did we play at home franchise mode, we couldn't even play online back in like 2004. We were playing at our crib by ourselves. So nobody wanted to play with fake teams. If you had fake teams, it just wasn't going to hit the same way. But today, you got to remember, with like 2K's My Player, everyone in the city or the neighborhood, they play as themselves anyway. Right? So now when everyone's getting together, we got our own squad. So now it's not as relevant. Also because of just to keep it real, people just create themselves in whatever likeness they want. People, if they're going to create themselves as Rodman or Mike Tyson or whomever coming into a certain type of environment, they can do that. Our thing is that we do all that type of stuff as creatively as possible. But yeah, because of that exclusive licensing deal, that like EA Sports came in through crazy bucks at the NFL, and the NFL took it. So at the end of the day, no one could actually have the Ravens or the Giants and stuff like that.
EA, that was foul, guys. That show. I tell you, they threw the money, and 2K couldn't do nothing about it, and the game was better.
I'll put it this way: they threw so much money that you got to remember, 2K got money,
yes,
and they still couldn't mess with the money that EA did.
Yeah.
That's the way. That's how heavy it was.
Okay, so. Best case scenario, 5 years from now, where are you guys sitting?
So
best case scenario.
So not only best case scenario for us that we're a multi-billion-dollar corporation and so on and so forth, but best case scenario for y'all. And here's the reason why I say that is because let's put it this way. Let's just keep it real. When you're a content creator, right? We all have the same 3 problems. The first problem is retention. Doesn't matter if you got Power 105 or it doesn't matter if you make videos cooking. You need to keep people on your stuff without skipping to the next thing within a couple seconds. That's the first problem. The second problem is transcendence. So you get big, but then you got to get outside that box. You just can't be known as a radio DJ, can't be just known as a gamer, can't be just known as an athlete. You got to step outside that box so that you could essentially grow your paper, right? Grow your brand. And then the final thing is the monetization. If you right now don't have like an OnlyFans, then it's hard as hell to actually turn your name, image, and likeness into actual bread. You know what I mean? So the thing is that in our game, you got to remember that by I'll give you an example, right? This is off the record. We got Grammy-winning artists. I'm not going to name off the top right now, that we go to them and we recognize that, like someone like Snoop. Snoop said he got billions of streams on Spotify, but he only made $45,000, right? But we go to those same type of artists, right? Especially ones that are independent. We bring their tracks into our game. You got to remember that when kids are emoting and celebrating, they just scored a touchdown and that has a track on it, the cut that they're making financially is so much better. So essentially what we essentially say is we're not competing with Madden. We're essentially creating this ecosystem that everyone could essentially monetize off of their likeness, off of their brand. And the reason why people like it is because it's just creative for them. So at the end of the day, they're taking your likeness and they're doing whatever they want. So off the record, like we speak into some pretty big shows and names and things like that. We bring in real life sports leagues into our game to actually when you're working out and so on and so forth. So there's a lot happening. So it's not just us, growing to $1 billion corporation, but it's the fact that you can now essentially make 6 figures off of a video game that you don't even have to personally play.
Lamont, VR capabilities? You got VR capabilities?
We will. So in terms of that, because in terms of, as Ray just said, we're not a multi-billion-dollar corporation yet. So in terms of the first iteration of the game, we're coming out on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. But also in terms of, we are gamers core at heart. So we want to provide this game experience on all types of platforms that you can play games on. So first base, of course, is stopping up with Xbox and PlayStation. Then eventually we're going to do things on like mobile and then also get into the AR and VR space too.
Listen, I've interviewed, I'm going to say a couple thousand people, Fats, you say? I don't want to sit there. I don't want to do what they do, son. Like, that's not even, like, this not fun no more. I want to go do what they do. Can we?
The key is to do what you do in our world, combine it. That's what it is right there.
Listen, you're talking about, listen, if you need a commentator for the games,
exactly.
I got you, son.
Exactly.
I got you, son.
Exactly.
I would love to do play-by-play.
You remember back in the day, like for NBA Jam, like the Boom Shakalaka, he's on fire.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So we got like that person, but we got so many. So again, it's the same thing for you because the thing is that kids gonna want to cap and sound like you. They're gonna want to sound like Stephen A. Smith. They're gonna want to sound like all these people. So again, that's the whole point. For you, we bring your creativity in. Also, you gotta remember that everyone like us, like you. If you could be immortalized in a video game, everyone kind of wants that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when we go to people, it's a win-win for everybody. But at the same exact time, the content creator is the one who really wins because they're just taking all that fun stuff and then again making more content off of it. So like you said, you want to sit on this side, we could definitely make that happen and obviously make some stuff happen together.
We will be in contact, fellas.
I got my lawyer right here.
We'll connect. We'll do lunch. I got you.
Yeah.
All right, I got to get you guys about it because I feel I can talk to these guys forever.
Yeah.
All right, so it starts with the football. And in this world, because you said you could go work out, like now I'm a father, so now I'm thinking what's the backlash in this world? Is there predatory
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, it's a great question. So first and foremost, our game is ready.
Because Roblox, I don't know if you guys know Roblox.
It's crazy.
Roblox, there's grown-ass niggas on Roblox talking to kids.
Yeah,
wow.
It's crazy.
Nuts. Nuts. I thought Roblox was innocent. I turn on the volume and I hear also, I'm like, oh no.
It's crazy.
So I'm asking, would that be, how do you?
Yeah, no. So first and foremost,
I got you, dads.
Yeah, exactly. No. So the first thing is that our game is rated E for everyone.
Beautiful.
Right? So that's the first thing, right? So that's another thing about let's just say the influencers for a moment. When we take a celebrity influence, he's not gonna come into the game or she's not gonna come into the game and be snorting coke or literally like soliciting prostitution. In GTA, that's exactly what you're doing. right? So
I gotta get my 9-year-old off GTA.
You know what I'm saying? Like you wanna rob a bank, you know what I mean? Like you do all this type of stuff. So in our game, while it's fun, you ain't doing that, right?
Thank you.
Your brand is either getting hit or hitting somebody in football, you know, or whatever the sport may be. But then besides that, again, the other big key is that, like you said in Roblox, it doesn't create that predatory environment because it's not just 1-on-1, right? In our world, there's 22 people on the mic, so it's very unlikely that a person who is a predator is going to be around 22 people trying to do their dirt.
Hey, how you doing?
Shut
the fuck up.
Exactly. So with all that, that's where, again, the key for us is that, shout out to Sean Merriman. He has, Lights Out Extreme Fighting, right? Which is, you've heard of this, right? So
shit is crazy.
So with Lights Out Extreme Fighting, it's obviously like the minor league to essentially, the UFC where guys are building up and so on and so forth. Well, in our game, you got to remember in 2K, how many times has someone sold on you where the game was done, it was won, and they ruined something, right? Now in our game, someone sells on you. you can go handle your differences real quick in the lights out extreme fighting gym, because now you step into the octagon and bust that guy's ass because literally he was the reason y'all won or lost. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we say we tie all these things together.
You fumbled. Meet me at the fucking gym.
Exactly. And then so again, from a business standpoint, Sean's a visionary, so that's great for his brand because now you're doing it in the lights out gym.
Yo, man,
he's getting crazy virality with that.
You guys have thought of it all.
Yeah, I appreciate you. tell them publishers that, but they're coming around, so you know what I'm saying?
Listen, the price just went up. Because y'all missed out the first time. What the hell was y'all thinking?
For real, man.
How is it working with Eric at Restmaster and Shakes at the talent firm? Remaster, excuse me.
No, it's all good. So basically, again, we've been very fortunate to have an incredible team that helps put us in so many different positions. Obviously, whether it's pro athletes, whether it's just so many different people. So Eric and Remaster, it's obviously the same thing. Shout out to Shady McCoy, Cam Jordan, David Tyree, LaShawn McCoy, Sean Merriman, all these guys that essentially helped us get to where we are. And again, shout out to Power 105 for even having us on in the first place. Ultimately, again, this ecosystem that we create is it's entirely designed to increase recourse and give opportunity financially, especially to people like our own. But at the same exact time, it doesn't happen without the village coming together. Yeah. So we're incredibly grateful to everyone for essentially helping that happen. And again, Power 105 first and foremost for having us on in the first place.
Well, EmEz first, then Power. But yeah, I went for where you want.
Yeah,
exactly. It's cool. Is there a date? Is there a drop date?
So is this fall? Is this fall? Right now, we don't want to give the date because the thing about the gaming community, as everyone knows, is that if you push anything back, they wild.
Oh yeah,
you know
absolutely.
I mean? They're not gonna have that. So,
absolutely.
So for us, we just right now, like real quick, when we did all this, you gotta remember, EA Sports AAA studios have a budget of $75 million plus.
Yeah.
Right. And then that doesn't even include their marketing or none of that. So EA Sports putting damn near $500 million every single year when you add up all the NFL licensing, the marketing, all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. We came out this and we had $2 million. Right. So it ain't.
It's like a water in a bucket. Yeah.
Exactly. In comparison. So this is what I'm saying before, where I said we had to think outside the box, and throughout all of this stuff, we were forced to essentially create new angles for ourselves. But now we're doing very, very well to the point that we got the funding to finish the game, so on and so forth. The game will absolutely be out this year. And again, at that point, it's all about the community. Oh, and on top of that, it's also free to play. Again, we give everybody an offer they can't refuse. And from that, again, like you said, there's plenty of ways to obviously monetize.
There's got to be something wrong. It's not Wii graphics, right? Like the graphics are still
no.
That's the question.
No, you got to. No, it's not Wii graphics at all. As a matter of fact, the graphics we feel very, very confident with. Are they Madden yet? No, but at the same time, no, they definitely ain't no damn Wii.
Okay.
The number one thing is that for us, with everything that we're doing right now, once the game releases, once we generate revenue and so on and so forth, 100% goes back into the actual game. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, I'm not going to get into exactly how, but we will immediately be rolling out multiple sports titles, like I said before. So really, at the end of the day, like there's so many games. The biggest problem is right now in sports, there's literally only one, maybe two people making the game. There's only one football game in the whole world, which is Madden. There's only one basketball game right now, which is 2K. Live don't even exist anymore.
I was trash.
Live don't even exist anymore. You know what I'm saying? There's like one hockey game. There's like two soccer games. There's no competition. So in our space, there's a reason why that's hard for a lot of companies to do. And we feel like we figured out the glitches, how to actually make it like something that we can monetarily get through with. So we're excited, man. Like
I'm rooting for you, yo.
Appreciate you. Obviously looking forward not only to having you play the game, but be in the game as well.
Absolutely, son, I just want to be a part of the wave, son, because you guys are about to do something crazy.
And yo, if a game is over and someone just scored, 50 points and ran for 400 yards and Power 105 is breaking that story, then I'm all for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm all for that.
Listen, I'll be updating stats on every Saturday. This guy did 352 TDs. Shout out to @whatever.
Facts,
I got you.
Facts.
Let them know how to follow you and all that good stuff before we get up out of here.
Appreciate you. So first and foremost, the company is Elite Sports Gaming. To follow us on social media, it's Play ESG. So PLAYESG. So that's essentially our handle. Please go out and follow that. Please get at us. And then with that being said, like I said, goal is just to make everybody proud with it.
I'll be playing. Is there going to be a release party? I need to be at everything.
Yeah.
I need to be at all that.
So shout out. Essentially, release party will definitely be at Barcode. They're one of our investors.
Jersey.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. So
yes.
They'll be actually again. So I'm telling y'all, man, we're not messing around. Barcode will be in the game when you playing money games and you playing in like a club environment. You're gonna be playing in that spot. It's gonna be like dark, lit up, and everything like that. You're gonna be playing money games up in there. So so it's all about how we creatively bring the real world in, to obviously in a fun capacity to the game. So that's where the release party will be at. We'll definitely let everybody know with that for sure and make it happen.
Yo, Ray, Lamont, thank you guys, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. That's a sit down. Come and catch the vibe. Welcome to Easy Weekend.
It's Easy Weekends.
Cats can't see me.